Two great festivals, celebrations, one Persian, one Jewish, both filled with joy and feasting and the hope of a new beginning. But are they connected in any way? Today, we are going to explore the ancient Persian festival of Nowruz and the Jewish feast of Purim from the book of Esther. What do they share? And what makes them different? Nowruz, literally meaning new day in Persian. It is the Persian New Year, celebrated for more than 3,000 years, and it marks the spring equinox, usually on March the 20th, 21st, and it symbolizes the renewal, life, and victory over darkness. And its roots go deep into Zoroastrian tradition, where the forces of light triumph over darkness, as winter gives way to spring. Today, it is celebrated not only in Iran, but across Central Asia, the Caucasus, and among Persian communities worldwide. And at the heart of Nowruz is the half-seen table. Now, this is a ceremonial display of 7 symbolic items, each beginning with the Persian letter S. And these include green sprouts for rebirth, representing rebirth. Then a sweet wheat pudding for abundance. Then we have the dried oleander fruit for love, garlic for health, apples for beauty, sumac for sunrise, vinegar for patience, and all of these are spread out on a table. It's time for a feast. And other customs include spring cleaning. Ring any bells? Buying new clothes, visiting family, and feasting. There are signature dishes like a herbed rice with fish and a fragrant herb frittata. And all these fill the tables. It's a time of fresh starts, generosity, and joy. Now, let's turn to the Jewish feast of Purim described in the book of Esther. Now, this story unfolds during the reign of King Ahasuerus, often identified with Xerxes I, when the Jews were living under Persian rule. Purim commemorates a dramatic deliverance when Haman, the king's advisor, plotted to destroy the Jews. But through the courage of Esther and the wisdom of Mordecai, the plan was overturned, reversed. The result? Well, it was intended to be a day of sorrow, but it became a day of joy, a time of feasting and gladness. Let's recall what in the book of Esther, chapter 9 and verse 22 has to say. See, the month which was turned for them from sorrow to joy, and from mourning into a good day, that they should make them days of feasting and joy, and of sending portions one to another and gifts to the poor. So Purim became an annual celebration in the month of Adar, the late winter or early spring. And it was marked by the reading from the book of Esther, the Megillah as it was known. Giving gifts of foods to friends, charity to the poor, feasting with joy. Now, both these themes, Purim and Nowruz, are reversal and renewal. Both Nowruz and Purim share a sort of cultural backdrop together. See, when Purim was first celebrated, Jews were living in Persia, the very heart of Nowruz and its traditions. Both occur near the start of the spring. Both involve feasting, gift giving, and celebration. Both celebrate a kind of reversal. For Nowruz, the triumph of light over darkness. For Purim, the reversal of Haman's plot. Now, in the book of Esther, we see echoes of Persian courtly customs. There were lavish banquets, royal decrees, generous feasts, all the hallmarks of a wonderful Persian culture. So it's easy to imagine the Jews of that time, living in those days, celebrating their own festival while the empire, the Persian Empire around them, rejoiced in Nowruz. But there is a critical difference. See, Nowruz is a cosmic and seasonal in nature. The cycles of time, the Zoroastrian ideas of renewal. Purim, on the other hand, is historical, rooted in the deliverance and the survival of the Jews. But, big but, critically, not covenantal. And why do we know that? Scriptures. There are two scriptural witnesses to confirm that fact. Moses' clear command, first in Deuteronomy 4 and verses 1 and 2. Let's read that. Hear now, Israel, the statutes and ordinances I am teaching you to follow, so that you may live and may enter and take possession of the land that the Lord, the God of your fathers, is giving you. You must not add to or subtract from what I command you, so that you may keep the commandments of the Lord your God that I am giving you. Secondly, Deuteronomy chapter 12 and verse 32. See that you do everything I command you. Do not add to it or subtract from it. Recognize the principle. At the mouth of two or more witnesses, every matter is established. Matthew 18, verse 16. Now, let's read on in Esther chapter 9, verses 23 this time. So the Jews agreed to continue the custom they had started, as Mordecai had written to them. See, the Jews were already engaging in some form of celebration like the Persians around them. Mordecai just made that celebration official and named it Purim. Moses clearly stipulated just 3 festivals a year, directly linked to their worship. So where was the clear direction from Moses? See, the covenant was already fading, and fading quite rapidly. See, Purim's festival rested hope not in the stars or seasons, as in the Persian Nowruz, but in the political win of the Jews. So Mordecai, he just officially added to Moses, despite being clearly warned not to. How did it all eventually end, though? Well, we'll come to that later on. So when we look at these two festivals, one Persian, one Jewish, we see fascinating intersections of culture and faith. Surrounded by Persian traditions of renewal, the Jewish people established a celebration of their own, a festival that says history is not ruled by fate or cosmic cycles, but in a political win. Remember, God is not even mentioned in the whole account of Esther. So we have one empire, 2 feasts, 2 stories, and a reminder that in every culture people do long for renewal, do they not? The question is, in whom do they look to for that renewal? Now, we're going to continue with our examination in the next video. Now, if you find this of value, please like, share, and subscribe. So, thank you, and see you next time.